History is full of facts that never make it into the standard timeline. In this compilation, we're following the laws, records, and decisions that changed what really happened.
Pennsylvania built a constitutional watchdog before courts made that job famous.
The Pennsylvania Constitution of 1776 created the Council of Censors to check whether the legislature, executive, and judiciary had stayed within the written rules. Every 7 years, this council was supposed to review official actions and compare them with the Constitution itself. It met only once, in 1783 and 1784, but that single meeting showed Americans were already testing constitutional review in practice. When Pennsylvania dropped the council in 1790, the idea did not vanish. It left a trace in how Americans thought about written limits, and a decision remained on the page. One source says Antigoniya fell, but another still places it in the centuries that followed.
Antigoniya was founded in 307 BC by Antigonus I as a major city in the northern Levant, built on a strategic river route.
That matters because ancient writers did not always describe the same year. One may record a destruction, another a later survival, rebuilding, or memory. So a city named as destroyed in one account can still appear in another because the sources preserve different moments, not one instant of truth. For historians, the lesson is simple. A destruction date is a clue, not the final word, and the next document can change the picture. Count Henry II of Champagne died in 3 different ways because medieval news spread before anyone could verify it. He was a major noble in late 12th century France, so his death moved through courts, monasteries, and scribes who relied on second-hand reports. As the story traveled, one source could preserve an accident, another a fall, and another a more polished version, each copied from a different chain of rumor. That meant later writers did not inherit one settled account. They inherited competing notes, and each copy could harden into a different medieval memory. His death shows how medieval history was often built from distance, delay, and repetition, with the archive preserving the disagreement itself as a trace. C. Mortimer Whisk was early in turning everyday American life into opera, and that was unusual in the 1890s. Whiskey grew up in Vermont and New York, then worked for years as an organist and choir director in Brooklyn. In that world, opera usually looked to Europe, so an American subject created a clear shift in what belonged on stage. His opera joined a late-century effort to build distinctly American musical subjects, giving local life a place in serious composition. That mattered because it widened the idea of what opera could describe, from grand foreign stories to scenes people recognized at home, and the surviving program notes still works that decision. OAP Bratislava's success was built by a man the public was not meant to see, Leopold Šťastný. During World War II, OAP was a Slovak army club in the Slovak Republic, and Šťastný quietly reshaped how the team trained. He introduced a new training system, and the team rose past title favorites to win Slovakia in 1942-1943. But his name stayed out of public view because he was Jewish, and wartime prejudice shaped what the club could say. When the Slovak army dissolved in October 1944, OAP ended too, leaving a championship season and a quiet document behind. Public lectures made Jessie Catherine Couver internationally known long before mass media could do that for her. She spoke about Australia to audiences in Britain and Europe, where curiosity about the colony gave her talks real reach. Those lectures, along with print coverage, turned her into a cultural voice that people beyond her home country could recognize. That reputation opened doors, including a private audience with King Leopold II, because public speaking could carry status across borders. Couvrer's rise shows how a lecture could act like a passport, carrying ideas into rooms that ordinary travel never reached, and leaving a trace in the archive. Liechtenstein's 2013 election changed the party system because 4 parties entered the Landtag for the first time. The vote on 3 February chose 25 members of the Landtag, the country's parliament, and the main contest had long been between two big parties.
Then the result broke the old pattern. The Progressive Citizens Party won 10 seats, the Patriotic Union 8, the New Independents 4, and the Free List 3.
That meant the Patriotic Union fell to its lowest seat total in history, while voter turnout still reached 79.8%.
The immediate effect was a more fragmented parliament, where smaller groups now had a real place in the Landtag, and every coalition calculation became more delicate.
Missouri repealed a school segregation rule in 1976, long after it had stopped working. The rule had once required separate schools for white and colored children, but Brown v. Board of Education had already made school segregation illegal in 1954. In 1976, voters saw Amendment 5 on the ballot after SJR 40 and HJR 64 sent the cleanup to the people.
The amendment passed with 57.53%, even though 56 of Missouri's 114 counties voted against it.
Supporters like Franklin Payne and Maurice Schechter backed a symbolic vote that cleared a stale line from the state constitution and left a public record of change. These stories prove that history is often shaped in the margins, not just the headlines. If you want more overlooked facts like these, subscribe and tell us which one surprised you most.